If you are a veteran, active duty service member, or surviving spouse, and you are wondering what credit score do you need to buy a home with a VA loan, this video is for you. And here is the most important thing I want you to hear today. Do not assume you are denied just because your credit score is not perfect. VA loans can be more flexible than many buyers realize, but the lender you choose matters. Okay, so now let's get into it. One of the biggest misunderstandings about VA loans is that there is one magic credit score you have to have. The VA itself does not set one universal minimum credit score. According to the VA's own home loan buyer guide, VA does not require a minimum credit score. But most lenders do use credit scores to help evaluate risk and determine loan terms. That means the credit score requirement can vary from lender to lender. Some lenders may want to see a 620. Some may work with a 600. Some may consider a 580. And in certain cases, manual underwriting may be possible when the credit score is lower, as long as the overall file makes sense. This is where working with a local mortgage broker can make a big difference. When a lender says we require a 620 credit score, that does not always mean VA requires a 620. It may mean that specific lender has their own rule. Those extra lender rules are called overlays. As a mortgage broker, I work with over 100 different investors, and not all of them look at VA loans the exact same way. That is important because if one lender says no, another lender may still be able to review the file. Now, I want to be very clear. A lower credit score does not mean an automatic approval, but it does not always mean an automatic denial either. We have to look at the full picture. If your VA loan cannot receive an automated approval, manual underwriting may be an option in certain cases. Manual underwriting means a real human underwriter is taking a deeper look at the file. They are not just looking at the credit score. They are looking at the story behind the credit. For VA manual underwriting, lenders will usually want to see several important things. First, they want to see that you have had clean credit for the most recent 12 months. That generally means no payments more than 30 days late in the past 12 months. Second, they are going to look closely at your housing history. VA guidelines and lender requirements often look for 12 to 24 months of rental history, depending on the file and the investor. And this is important for our military families here in El Paso and southern New Mexico. Rental history may be verified even if you are in military housing. So if you are stationed at Fort Bliss, Holloman, White Sands, or you have been living in base housing or military housing, do not assume that does not count. We may still be able to document your housing history. Third, they are going to look at your overall ability to repay the loan. That includes your income, debts, residual income, job stability, assets, and whether the new house payment makes sense for your household. In our El Paso and southern New Mexico market, this matters a lot. We have many VA buyers who are relocating, PCSing, separating from the military, retiring, or using their VA benefits for the first time. And I see buyers talk themselves out of applying because they think their credit is not good enough. Please do not do that. Let someone who understands VA loans review the file first. You may need to work on your credit for a little while. You may need to pay down a balance. You may need to wait until a late payment is outside of the most recent 12 months. Or we may be able to structure the file with the right VA investor now. But you will not know until the file is reviewed correctly. Your credit score does matter. A stronger score can help with approval, pricing, and more lender options. But with VA loans, the credit score is not the whole story. VA loans were created to help eligible veterans and service members buy homes, and they can be one of the most powerful loan programs available. Zero down payment may be possible. No monthly mortgage insurance. Flexible guidelines compared to many conventional loan options. But the file has to be documented properly. That is why it is so important to work with someone who understands VA guidelines, lender overlays, and our local market. If you are a veteran, active duty service member, or surviving spouse in El Paso, Fort Bliss, Las Cruces, Santa Teresa, Sunland Park, Alamogordo, Holloman Air Force Base, White Sands, or anywhere in Texas or New Mexico, I would be happy to review your VA loan options. Do not assume you are denied just because your loan is not perfect. Let's look at the full picture and see what options may be available. I'm ReAnn Gonzalez, mortgage broker with Edge Home Finance. Please subscribe to this channel for more mortgage and real estate tips for El Paso, Southern New Mexico, and all our military homebuyers. And when you are ready, reach out. I would be honored to help you use the VA benefit you earned.